the Collaborative for Southern Appalachian Studies, and it's really nice to have John Willis, who's one of the co-directors of the Collaborative, here today, and Emily Parton, who I think probably has to have an entire house just for all the hats that she wears. But she's the community liaison for the Collaborative. The Places Project came to be when I arrived here. When I came, to be perfectly honest with you, I was not sure what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to do a project on history and memory on the mountain, and I knew that I wanted it to involve as many people as possible. And so when I came here, I just started to kind of listen and try to learn about the communities. And actually, it was John Willis who took me out and around my first week here. And what he pointed out to me was that every single community has its own very distinct culture and its own very distinct history. And kind of the magic and the challenge was to find a way to let those histories and those stories live, but to also kind of for the well-being of the mountain and its valleys, to find some ways to be together, to come together. So how do you come together without losing what's so special and remarkable and what people care about on the mountain and in its valleys? And so that's where the Places Project was born. And I think the most important thing for me, before I show you some of the results, is just to say that as someone who does research, this was a really humbling project. And I just have to point out Scott Pilkington, because he was the first person I interviewed. And he basically said to me, Margo, nobody's going to want to sit here and fill out a form for consent and get into, have you get into their business. So we brainstormed on his patio, outside looking at his spring, and he said, maybe you could go to fairs. Maybe you could, I don't know, make it fun. And I'm like, dude, I'm an academic. Like, we don't do fun. And this project and the people that I met have really encouraged me to think about history and memory as something that is really a process, and that it can be something that we share in the making as well as in the kind of the final piece. So for me, this has been an ongoing thing. Every day, every week, we went out to local fairs. We went and we took big maps and we asked people to tell us about places that mattered to them. And we did that over and over and over in every single community on the mountain and in the valleys, and we collected close to 600. We collected 579 stories of places that mattered to people. And you'll see if you go into the other room that there's a physical representation of that. It's an actual map, and it's got these cool pockets in it. And inside the pockets are stories and pictures. But the digital map is also super cool for a lot of reasons. One is that it's a live thing. We can add to it. People can use this and continue to collect, and it's very, very easy to find ways for you to represent things that matter to you. If you want to do a collection about Tracy City Elementary kind of stories, you can add it to this map by, if you can plug into an Excel spreadsheet, you can map it. You can also use this data. The data is all public. So the formal thing here is to make the map work. That's always the secret. So here's what happens. Here's a map of Grundy, Franklin, and Coffee counties. A little bit of Bedford over here. And if you hover on the map, you can see the story, the person who shared it, the place that they're from, and its location. favorite stories. We collected at the Grundy County Fair last year. Preston is 11 years old, and he said, "We've lived in a lot of different places. This is the first time in my life, the first place in my life that I've ever felt at home. If I had to describe Grundy County, I would call it loving." I'm not sure if that applies to me, like everyone is so loving to me, but when I watch them, all the people at school, everyone's always hugging each other and saying, "I love you." I've never seen this anywhere else in my life. There is love here. Not here and there. So one of the things that's cool about this map is that the way we collected the information allows you to search it. So I just kind of wanted to give you an example of some of the things that you can search by. So these are all the stories that are about family, because everybody here knows that family is very much one of the things that root people to their lives and to their sense of place. And they can be really simple. You know, this woman said, "This was a great place to raise my family. We are mountain people." This one's about Ramsey Lake, and this man said, "My wife and I go there. She plays the flute. We just feel the air together." So it's a place that they enjoy as a family. And this one is Brown's Pool Room, because, you know, Brown's Pool Room in Cowan. And this woman said, "It feels like family." You could also search the map by age. So this is a map of all the stories collected by teenagers. It's really pretty much the youngest person we talked to was 7. So these are the stories of people between 7 and 17. And I think anybody who is interested in the future of this mountain needs to be interested in how young people are connecting to place. So my horse Dixie and I go swimming at Big Creek. I'm so happy I made the volleyball team. The volleyball court is really my favorite place. This is a really nice opportunity for me to give a shout out to Haley Monroe. Haley Monroe collected this story, and she collected a lot of the stories for the Places Project and really did a tremendous job. So thank you, Haley. While we're doing thank you, my husband's sitting next to Haley, and like literally I could not have done the project without him, because he physically took the tent and the maps and came out with me to every single fair and helped collect the stories.
Matthew!
Yeah, because like he has a name other than my husband. Gender role reversal. One of the things that's interesting to look at on the map is what's the difference between locals and blow-ins? You know, is there a different sense of place? So one of the things that we did was ask people to share how they identify. Are they born and raised? Did they move here from somewhere else? Or are they here for a short time? And so what you can do, for example, is just look at local stories. You know, Fall Creek Falls, the Smart Hotel in Beersheba, not there anymore, but used to be. Savage Gulf, our own Nadine Foltmore's favorite place. This is a fantastic story. How many of you know James Gibson? This is a story about James Gibson's great-great-grandfather. My grandpa was James Michael Gudger. His grandfather was John Roger Gudger. They called him Colonel. They lived at the foot of the mountain below Mont Eagle and Battle Creek. During the war between the states, when the armies moved across the mountain, he followed off the army. The family members were assigned to find him, and luckily they did down in Kennesaw, Georgia. He was 9 years old. The soldiers had nicknamed him Colonel, and that nickname stuck with him all his life. They called him Colonel. So just a couple more things to tell you. The places of historical significance refer to patterns, they refer to industries, they refer to conflicts. a great place to kind of start if folks are interested in doing local history research. They're also a really important way to think about how rich these communities are in history and how central they are to broader histories of the region, the nation, and the world. And so the fact that so many people, close to 100 people, shared stories about the Irish working man's camp, about Ku Klux Klan rallies, about blowing through the tunnel down in Cowan, and talking about that really shows how important history is, and it's here, and it's kind of quantified in a way. Finally, my other favorite thing is local businesses and local nonprofit organizations, local institutions. So if you are thinking about how do we talk about the feelings on this community of loyalty to families and businesses and churches and schools, there's some really nice data here. The Sewanee Mountain Grotto, maybe you've heard of that, fascinating organization. Mountaintop, Julie Keel's here. Mountaintop got lots of shout outs from a lot of different kinds of people. Morton Memorial Church and Monteagle got shout outs. And a lot of people have very compelling things to say about their places. And finally, one of the things that kind of took me a little while to learn is that at the university we're a lot about talk. We talk, we read, we do words. I'm doing it here. You're all captive and I'm almost done. But it was amazing to me that 2/3 of the places were about what you do there, right? Like what you do, whether it's, walking or laughing or visiting or playing music, that if you searched the data by activity, you found that people's connection to place, it's not like some passive thing. Place is not passive. Place is a relationship. And so this map and the stories on the map really show the relationships that people have to their places. And then finally, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's participated, to the collaborative who funded the research, to a lot of my students at the University of the South that worked on this project with me. And I want to encourage you to play with the information on your own. Our website is very simple. It's theplacesproject.org. And if you go to theplacesproject.org and click on that little link that says Explore the Maps, then you can link to it, and all this information is available to you online. You don't have to log in. You don't have to give anybody your social security number and your mother's maiden name. It's just available to you. And finally, the last thing I wanted to show you is that we have these really cool, we text mined all of the stories and then threw that into a computer program. And it's really fun because if you go all the way down to 25 words, and you know what, we're really kind of our communities. It's Monteagle, it's Tracy, it's Cowan. I took Sewanee out, I gotta say, because people in Sewanee always said Sewanee in their place. So when I made this map, Sewanee was like huge, and I took my control as the researcher to take it out, because it just took over. Home, family, but if you go out and you add more words, then you get school, and you get church, and you get Jim Gibson, because you get lake, you get view, you get beauty, you get history. And if you go out even further and further and further, this is really a map of words, a portrait of words of these communities. So I'm leaving next week, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I've had to learn about history and memory here with you, and to do it with you. and I'm really excited to continue to support this project in any way that I can so that it continues to live on the mountain, and that it actually is research that works for you, because it really is for you. Thank you.
Some sort of art. It could be photography, it could be knitting, it could be whatever. And this particular exhibit, we decided to feature artwork that was done in summer camps this summer on the mountain or in the valley. So I'm the director of Discover Together, which programs include Camp Discover, and also a new summer program that we've done the last couple of years, which is the Scholastic Art and Writing Workshop. So we have 2 exhibits hanging. We also have Mountaintop, and Julie will talk about that project in just a second. And then the 4-H Club this year did a cooking camp. And you know, food is all about art, the culinary arts. So we have that display over at the bakery because they actually went to the bakery during their camp and she taught them how to bake bread and so forth. But I've got 3 or 4 of my art and writing students here in the back, standing around, waving at us. And they are featured, all of their work are featured in these windows on the alleyway here on the other side. You have to go out and see it. The Camp Discover pictures are featured in these front windows all the way down to the bank. And then Julie's pictures are at the annex and in the antique store. And then, like I said, the 4-H pictures are over at the bakery. Julie, would you like to say something about Mountaintop's art and camp? Come on over here because she's actually filming live as we speak.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie Keel, and I'm the Associate Executive Director at Mountaintop, and we're a 43-year-old partnership ministry located in Cumberland Heights, where our main office is. We run camps in the summer for local young people ages 6 to 17. And our Kaleidoscope Camp, which is 1 week in the summer, is an arts-based workshop camp for children with special needs or have a special interest in the arts. Just kind of expand the exposure the young people have to the arts. And so those are the pictures that you'll see featured next door in the annex and then in the antique store. Our children love art around here. They love to get their hands into things. They love to be exposed. Some of the information we gather, just that kids are excited to be able to continue doing this sort of artwork that they have. We utilize local artists as well as people who come in and stay at our camp and then provide these workshops for young people. So I'm excited for you all to check out that artwork over there. And I also want to say that these types of projects are so exciting, and I feel like it's just such a privilege for us to be a part of something that really tells about the good things that are going on around us. I know I'm preaching to the choir here that we all know this, but to have something like this, this project that Margo has done and students have put all the time and effort into, that's stuff that gets out there beyond this county and this area and really highlights and will help tell a different story. A story that I think is really important for people to hear. So anyhow, thank you.
And then, of course, the other thing that's going on today is our live picking and grinning and whittling outside. We have some folks that have agreed to come by and play music. But I don't know if you know it or not, but every Tuesday night at the old high school across in the vocational building or the water department now, a lot of these folks, Dennis, you're involved in that, aren't you? What time does it start? Where's April?
5 o'clock.
Right now it starts at 7.
It starts at 7?
When the time changes, that, put it over. It's part of the reason we are here. It's an amazing experience. You should come listen. It's amazing. We're here kids that you know of that are interested in music, don't want to necessarily take formal lessons or can't for one reason or another, we would love to have them. We have a couple of different people right now, students that are coming and playing with us, and it's just the best. We have extra instruments, and people will mentor them. People that play that instrument that they're interested in will mentor them, and it's just tremendously informal. There's no judgment, it's not a contest where everybody tries to be better than the other. But come see us.
Sounds good. So right now it starts at 7, but as it begins to get dark earlier, they'll move the time back.
It'll be announced in the paper.
Okay, great. So what we want you to do is there's some refreshments here. I'll have refreshments under the tent. Our musicians are going to go back out and keep playing. We want you to just enjoy yourself, walk around and see all the art. Tell other people to come down into town. And one of the reasons we actually got a grant from the Tennessee Arts Commission to start these art exhibits. And our hope is to begin to do a lot of things in this downtown area and build a park right across the street where the old roundhouse used to stand when the railroad came through. Because the Mountain Goat Trail, and Patrick Dean is here with the Mountain Goat, we are actually out to bid right now, hoping in the next 3 weeks that a bid will come in for the downtown section of the Mountain Goat Trail, and then they'll build it, start going toward Montego, and eventually it'll be coming from Swanee all the way to Tracy, just like the old train did. The depot stood here, of course it's gone, the roundhouse is gone, but we want to have an amphitheater right out here and make this a gathering